Hello, boys. So we have the Berserker skeleton, whatever his name is. He's on duo blood rush with me duty, and then he's on blood camp, stay in blood, and then go at 300. So the idea is that a 2-person blood rush is faster than one, and that we have someone blood rush, blood camp, go in at 300. And it should obviously be the worst person. I was going to do it, but then it occurred to me that as the person who's actually getting the most secrets on the team, it would hurt. So I got the person who was the worst at secrets. You know, the person with the lowest secrets per run average, and be like, alright, you're on blood camp duty. So that way we weren't, like, hurting the run by having talent be wasted on blood camping. Get back, y'all. Got his ass. Dash 300. Why are we picking up Jerry candies? That's weird. Why are we getting Jerry? Nothing, chat. Yeah, he's doing pretty good at blood rushing with me. He is actually, like, saving time. Because I do think that, like, a 2-person blood rush is faster. Yeah, he's, like, dooring and shit. Like, that does save a second. Because the runs are so good, so fast, that it's, like, the blood rush, the blood camp that's, like, slowing us down. So I do think having good blood rush would help. already someone doing this room. What bar? Cool. Dagger. That thing's barely worth anything. Gracia. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. Mr. Sandman. I think the runs are actually like not that bad. The fact that they're even worrying about like blood camp means the runs are going good, in my opinion. Like if we're getting 300 and blood's not even finished, then like that's how you know the runs are going well. When we're having to like figure out how to make blood rush and blood camp faster because we're just getting all the secrets done and like blood's not done. So it's like, okay, these runs are too fast. A minute 30 in, already have an S. Very nice. Oh, there's someone in this room. Get me out of it. Don't want a room stack, dude. Yellow room, very easy. Yep. Just run in, run out, literally don't even do anything. Just hyping into the room kills the mini. Ah, beautiful. 2-minute enter. Red, find red, ice spray it, which makes it teleport, and then left click it so it doesn't teleport again. And that's how you do it. Alright, one guy needed arrows, which is a good excuse to downtime. Yep, got a bunch of chests open. Oh, beautiful. Wow, everything sold. Normally you're stuck with like bank 1 and like infinite quiver, but for once we're not stuck with jump. Oh wow, how nice. Oh, beautiful. Oh, beautiful. We're actually making money. The main thing we want to buy is a bone necklace. Ooh, I could buy this. Hello. 10-star. Reconned. It's fragged. So it's like double recon basically, I think. Or whatever. And then it has 3 enchants on it. I want to buy this. Should I buy this? If anything, I do want to change it to menacing or something. Ah, beautiful. Check that out. Beautiful chat. Okay, bro. I'm getting flexed on. Yeah, I'm finally glad to get that bone necklace, dude. I've been waiting on that so long, dude. Like, I like would have bought it, it's just I was broke, I couldn't afford it. But like, finally someone listed a 10-star bone necklace for cheaper than craft. Because that was my problem, is like, I didn't want to craft it because people often sell them for less than craft. And so I knew it was better just to buy a completely maxed one. Like, it was going to be cheaper. In fact, it's 50 mil cheaper. And so I knew I didn't want to make a bone necklace. I knew I wanted to just buy one right off the bat. The problem is, obviously, that's really expensive. It's weird because it's like, it's expensive, but it saves money. It's one of those things where it's cheaper, it's 50 mil cheap to craft, but because it's 10-star, not 5-star, it's really expensive. But like I said, it works out. I didn't finish. Yeah, definitely glad we did that. So like, what is a bone necklace anyway? Strength, crit chance, crit damage, health, defense, vitality. Gain 3 defense for every mob within 10 blocks up to 30 defense. Increase range up to 30 blocks and the cap for 60 defense place. Okay, so it doesn't seem to do that much. It was mostly like a tank item. But yeah, now I can compare it to like my old necklace. 30 strength, or 38 strength to 80s, not wild. 2 crit chance, 4 crit damage. Oh yeah, that's way better, that's way better. Okay, yeah, it is way better, dude. I was like not sure. I'm like, they're pretty similar, right? Oh no, dude, it's getting smoked. Dude, I'm glad I made that upgrade. Finally, dude, finally. Oh, also, what enchants did I have on my old necklace? I had the 1 and Quantum 5. The 1, Quantum 5, and... So it's actually better, Prosperity 1. So it has the same enchants plus an extra. Got it. Check the color, it's pink, look for pink, find it, ice spray it, left click it, and we're done. Chauffeur incoming. Wow, nothing crazy. Is chestplate profit? Wow, what a funny question. Is chestplate profit? Your RNG meters on chestplate? Pretty sure Shadow Fury's better. No, give me my stuff back. No, stop. Give me. Okay, whatever. Hello, next solar. That's funny. Yeah, I thought I might as well since I'm not doing anything. Leveling up my Jerry pet. And nothing. Crazy. How close are we? Wow, 18%. That's great, Netzler. Thank you for sharing. So, like, how do you find the stream anyway? Why not F6? I want a Shadow Fury. But we'll do, like, we'll do F6 after I get Shadow Fury. Yeah, how do you even find the stream anyway? Do you get, like, a notification? Like, an actual notification on your phone? As if it was, like, some sort of text, or do you just, like, go on your front page and it's just there? Notification. So, like, the bell, you click the bell. It's like, KillIt has gone live. It's on the front page always? Really? Interesting. Does that guy have Hyperion? That's probably why the runs are so good. We have a Hype Mage in F5. YouTube knows everything. Timedeo. Two of the people in the party are Iron Man. Oh, I had already killed the mini without seeing it. Did I actually flick it? I like hit a Shadow Assassin while flicking it. I didn't know if it blocked me or not. I am Echo Rim's replacement. Hee hee. I took his #1 fan after he left. Ha ha. Get wrecked, Echo Rim. Haha, that guy failed the blaze, get wrecked. What was so good about Echo Rim? How can I be his successor? His replacement for after he left, his continuation. What did he do good that no one else ever did? Because that's something even I don't really understand. It's kind of funny to say, but like as a streamer, I don't particularly know why people watch streams, or even more so why they donate. Because I never donate and I don't watch streams that often. It's like I make content, but I don't necessarily absorb it. Like I watch some streams from time to time, but I wouldn't call it like a regular thing that I do. High quality streams like talked about life. I don't think I actually talk about life that much. It's hard to explain. Yeah, I bet. You just know it when you see it. Quality. Yeah, I actually don't think my streams are quality. Like the mic, I have a really bad mic. But like, there's nothing I can do about it. It would cost money to buy a new mic. Money that I don't have. If I ever did have money, I would definitely buy a mic. What kind of music? Like that copyright-free fucking shit? I don't like those really, particularly. How do you get money? I don't. I don't have a job. Dude, find me that Echo Rim playlist. Maybe I can play the Echo Rim playlist. Send it to me on like Discord or something. Maybe I can steal it. Yeah, honestly, I feel like that's way better than like generic copyright-free music. It's actually surprising how little people are leaving. We've had like only like 1 or 2 people leave. And it's more like they got kicked than leaving. It was like I didn't think they were doing enough secrets per run, and so I kicked them. So like the only 2 people that left were because they got kicked. No one has been leaving these runs. They've all been staying. Let me see my own render distance. Remember the Skyblock SMP? I do. Dude, that server was so short-lived, oh my god. That server was so short-lived. It's funny, because that's Hot Slicer's, like, 3rd or so server in the second I played on. It had the exact same issue of, like, it was popular, like, the very first day it released. And then, like, mildly retained its player base for, like, the next week. But after a month, yeah, it was, like, literally, like, 1 person online at a given time. And it was often just fucking me. The servers just did not keep players. Dude, it's funny because in the trailer, where they showed off 2 bases, the 2 bases were just my base. It was my first base and then my second base, and that was it. They're like, come and play on the Skyblock SMP. And like they like paint over 2 different bases. They were both my base. Literally both bases were mine. The old base and the new base. I thought that was kind of funny. Is like, the Corner Kingdom really took over the server. We were by far the biggest group. we were like the only group that had a streamer, like the only group that had like more than 10 people, the only group that actually had like a substantial base. We basically dominated the server. Good times, good times. Cause like the only other base in the video was like an underground bunker basically. That was just like chests and furnaces, that was it. Just like a little small room underground with some chests in it. That was everyone else's base. At least we actually had houses and shit. I killed the house, I think. That's hilarious. Yeah, I think the server had potential, but I think they made like a few bad key decisions. I mean, it's hard to say why a server fails, but I do feel like I could... I've forgotten at this point, because that was years ago, but I definitely felt like I could have pinpointed exactly what went wrong. It was like this, this, and this. It was like 3 things. There's like a handful of things. Obviously, I expect that. Yeah, it's a dead server. He probably doesn't want people messaging him being like, oh, why is the server offline or something? How do I join? Because it's dead. But I think it's funny that this is like his 3rd time making a server. And even then, he did like it at everyone. If I made another server, would you join? He keeps doing the same thing. I find it funny. He like doesn't learn. He makes a bad server. It dies in like a week. It goes under. He has to delete it. And then like a year later, he's like, "Chat, if I made a server, would you join?" It's like, bro, you already did make a server. It failed. Remember? Like, I think it was fun. I think it had potential. I just thought it had some fatal flaws. I think one of the big problems was it was kind of doomed from the start, because he was trying to take people from Hypixel Skyblock. Like, Hypixel Skyblock is like a really well-developed game compared to like indie servers. Like, this server has a whole ass budget, makes millions of dollars a month, and they're trying to like take people off of Skyblock and onto his SMP. Like, there was just no way. Like, expecting Skyblock players to like stop grinding Skyblock and get on your server, it was just no way. I think he advertised to the wrong player base. I think he would have done better if he advertised it as like playing with a YouTuber SMP or something. If he like logged on every day and streamed every day and like tried to catch people from like Minecraft streams and be like, oh, I'm streaming Minecraft, join my server. I feel like that would have gone better than be like, Hypixel Skyblock players, join this server. It's like, Skyblock players ain't leaving Skyblock, you know? Skyblock players are addicted to Skyblock. You can't take them off. It was his server before that, but his server before that one of the biggest problems was like limited storage. I genuinely think that was like the main downfall of the server. Because after a few hours of gameplay, your inventory would get full, and then you couldn't do anything. You couldn't pick up new items, armor, anything. And so like, once you play on the server, just after a few hours, you were forced to stop playing because you couldn't get anything. Your inventory would fill up and you'd stop picking up things because there was no e-chest, there was no chest, there was no backpacks, there was no vault, there was literally nothing. Once you had a full inventory, you were done. That was it. You'd have to like throw things on the floor, and that's a really bad gameplay design. So I feel like the server itself was impossible to stay on. It was only good for a few hours, and then you just have to log off. I feel like unironically that might have been the server's downfall. It sounds like a small detail, but like not having a way to keep your items, that's gonna kill the server, dude. Yeah, that was for his last server. I'm actually talking about the one before it. But yeah, I also do think that trying to get Skyblock players to do PvP, again, I feel like it's not that great. I never liked that part of it, that it was like a PvP server, like a no-claim. It was basically anarchy without cheats, actually. It was a very small map where if you built a base, people could steal from it. You couldn't claim land. You were always susceptible to being killed. I'm actually surprised the server was stable. Like, no one ever tried to kill me except that one guy. I think his name was Sniperia. It's so funny that I remember. He was like the only person who ever killed me. So honestly, it was very cultured, very civilized. There was like a single barbarian, but everyone else was like super chill. People would show up to Corner Kingdom and be like, "Can I join?" We only got griefed like once or twice, and that was it. And then the server died. So the server was like it just didn't make sense. Like the culture, I feel like didn't line up. Like it was a PvP server on a server where people generally didn't PvP. So definitely a mismatch between what players wanted and what they could do. I think at one point, yeah, Corner Kingdom did make an enemy out of us, but then like realized it was a bad idea that he made an enemy out of us, but then decided to be like, fuck it, you know what, I'm just gonna double down. Yeah, we're enemies. It was basically diplomacy. He was like not the best at diplomacy, but whatever. Again, further proving that he just doesn't understand the vibe of the... Hot Slicer himself doesn't understand the vibe of his own server. Like, he didn't even know what the Corner Kingdom was. Like, bro, we're literally half the players online. What do you mean? What's Corner Kingdom? Bro, the 10 people in Tab, 5 of them are us. What do you mean? We, like, unironically, I still believe that Corner Kingdom was, like, the only thing that happened on the server. We, like, literally, like, it was just a few guys living in bases underground, and that was it. And everyone lived, like, very small, shitty lives. Corner Kingdom was, like, the only people who did anything. Oh my god, I totally agree, dude. If the Corner Kingdom just didn't happen, if our players didn't join, didn't make a base, didn't team up, dude, it genuinely would have been nothing, dude. Yeah, for real. Again, I do think like half of the server was Corner Kingdom. Hell, even like the drama wouldn't have happened. There wouldn't have been the griefs. There wouldn't have been the second base. Like, unironically, if it wasn't for like Corner Kingdom and the drama in Corner Kingdom, like being griefed, nothing would have happened. Like, if it wasn't for us, the server would have like nothing going on. It's like, oh, I wonder what's happening lore-wise. Like how do I explain it? Like, think 2v2t videos, right? When FitMC makes a video on 2v2t, he's like, look at the things the players have done and made, look what people are saying and doing, look at all this drama and history. Bro, that's us. Like, we are the people who did things. We are the ones who built the bases. We are the ones who got our bases griefed by the griefer guy. We are the people who made a Discord, and we had ranks, and we had, like, the largest faction on the server, and we had the Corner Kingdom, the only person that called themselves a king and had a kingdom. We were, like, the only substantial base. We took over the floating island from the trailer. There was a floating island. We were the first people to it. We made a base out of it, dude. Like, we were genuinely making history. Like, nothing else was going on, bro. I strongly believe we were, like, the only people doing things. Actually doing things on the server. That's funny. I don't think I remember that. I don't even like know what you're talking about. But yeah, do you like agree with my assessment? We were like the only people like making history on the server. I think Corner Kingdom was like the only thing happening basically. I would say the closest thing is whatever Hot Slicer was doing. If Hot Slicer was on the server streaming, then that was the most popular thing going on. But yeah. Yeah, exactly, I agree. Most content actually carried, yeah. Dude, we totally got cut short, because I was going to start doing, like, a rank system. I only ever got, like, 2 people promoted before the server died. But I was fully planning to, like, make nobility. I feel like you don't even realize it, dude. I had lore. Think about it. Why did I call it a kingdom? Why didn't I call it, like, just the Cornerlands or something? Is because I was going to start a fucking cult of personality. I was going to stream on the server. I was going to have bodyguards. I was going to have, like, dukes and earls. And I was going to reward all my loyalist protectors. I would never have to PvP because I'd have bodyguards. I would give people, like, items and coins for their loyalty. I was going to create, like, royal families and castles. Like, dude, I had a full plan. I was going to go feudalism. We were going to go, like, full 1000s, you know, like, I was gonna, like, recreate an actual kingdom. That was the lore, was to literally create a country building, nation state. And obviously, I was gonna be the king. And the justification for me as king was that I'm a streamer. So, like, why is KillIt in charge? It's like, because I'm streaming. I was, like, the closest thing to a YouTuber on the server. It was Hot Slicer as the owner, and then me who was streaming, and then that was it. So that's where I claimed like primacy. Yeah, I got to be the king because I was a streamer. that's my primacy justification. Yeah, like, dude, I had plans, dude. Like, we had like 2 nights or something. And again, I was gonna flesh it out more. Like, I was gonna give them a sword. Like, I was gonna, like, name it, like, the KillIt sword or something, and, like, only knights are allowed to have the KillIt sword or something. Like, there was gonna be lore, dude. There was actually gonna be lore on the server. There was totally going to be lore, but the server died very quickly. Like, it just dropped off in popularity so fast. Yeah, I only made, like, 2 people knight, and that's it. Only like 2 people had knight, and that was it. And even then, there wasn't much ceremony. There wasn't like that much that came with it, because we were so early game. No one had like a netherite or anything like that, I'm pretty sure. So it's not like I could have like given my knights like a full set of netherite as like bodyguards, protection, rewarding loyal fans. It was you and Jump. Oh my god, that's so funny you remember, yeah. So, like, there was gonna be a system. There was gonna be nobility. There was gonna be castles and land. Because, like, let me, like, explain it more, how, like, the feudal system works and how I would do it in Minecraft. The idea is that a plot of land, like, coordinates, like, 100 to 100, like, plot area would be fenced off. And it would be their land. And I would build a castle on it and give it to them. And they would get a knight of their own right. I would grant them a knight. And the knight's job was to be a bodyguard and, like, defend the land. So one person owned the land and the castle, and the other person defended it. And they were, like, a 2-person team with one of them like outranking the other. And the idea was just to claim land and like defend it. And we'd have several like barons, and each baron gets a knight, and the knight protects the castle and the baron runs the castle. And the idea is that if one of the castles gets attacked, then all the barons, as a part of Corner Kingdom, because they all work under me, I could call all the barons and knights together and be like, one of our castles is being attacked. And so we would have a country with, it, like, basically a country with police, like, with law enforcement, with, like, alliances, you know? Like, it was going to totally be flushed out. But I only got 2 people promoted, and then the server died. Like, it genuinely didn't last long enough to see the plans come into fruition. But I fully intended to make a country. That's why it's called Corner Kingdom. That's why I made the knight rank. Because it was going to be a feudal system. It was going to be like an old-timey kingdom from like the 1800s. Or really the 800s. What do you think? Isn't that like a good idea? Making a country. Because it's lawless, right? Like the problem is there's PvP and people can grief. Like we need a police system. We need knights, you know? We need people who have land and people who defend the land. Because without people to own land and defend it, it's anarchy. No one owns anything. And so we have to give legitimacy to land claims. When I say this is your castle, it's really yours. You're the only person allowed to build on it. Anyone who builds on it will go kick his ass. We're going to go gang up on him and defend it. Because I recognize that the server needed a country. It needed a government stability, and I was going to make that. Oh yeah, there totally would have been drama, 100%. Like, I think there was one guy who took stuff from my chest, and that was, like, genuinely one of the last things that ever happened. Like, as the server was dying, literally falling apart, one guy, like, found my chest and was, like, taking stuff out of it. And then the server died, basically. So there was definitely going to be some arcs that were going to happen. Another thing is I was intending on making a Hytale server. I didn't talk about it that much because obviously it was so far away and plans could change. But my plan was to make a Hytale Anarchy server because I thought it was easy. Obviously, like, Anarchy doesn't require anything, it's just vanilla. But I also wanted like a super pure Anarchy. Because if you remember Anarchy servers in Minecraft, a lot of them aren't true Anarchy. Like, that's one complaint a lot of people had with many Minecraft Anarchy servers, was they, like, weren't true Anarchy. Like, the Anarchy purists were like, oh, this server's not true Anarchy, they do this and this. And so I'm like, you know what'd be cool? Is to, like, have a day one Anarchy server that's true Anarchy. What if I, on the day Hytale releases, create and advertise an Anarchy server, and I completely leave it alone, no plugins, no mods, no admins, no creative mode, nothing. A purely vanilla Hytale server, no changes, no moderation, nothing. And I advertised it, and I streamed on it. Obviously, I'd get, like, griefed and killed, but it was for the advertising. I'd buy, like, server slots, I'd advertise, I'd play on it. And I feel like that genuinely would have popped off, right? A day one Hytale Anarchy server that's like real Anarchy. The admin, which is me, has no impact on the gameplay. I'm not going to put plugins, I'm not going to ban anyone, I'm not going to staff anyone. Just a very pure Anarchy. And then they fucking canceled Hytale. And so now that plan is gone. I was going to pivot to Hytale, dude. I was going to like rebrand the channel as like a Hytale channel. That was the plan. Dude, it was. Like, it's funny because if you listen to what Simon Hypixel said, he was like, bro, it was like 2 years away from being done. Like, the development got close, but then they started the whole bad management thing. They changed the scope. They decided to rewrite the entire game in another coding language. And so that set the server back. And then they eventually just like entered development hell and like nothing ever got done. They would add more things and they could code. You know, I kind of hope they revive it. Because, like, again, I do think that, as much as we hate it when games are, like, released in an unfinished state, the problem is revenue. Like, genuinely. Like, the company burns God knows how much money each year on, like, development, you know, because developing a game is expensive. And so it was costing money, but not making any. If they just released the game, it would generate a lot of revenue and justify development. Because that's the problem with game development, is that you spend like a decade hemorrhaging hundreds of millions of dollars, and only after it's finished do you then have a bunch of people buy it, and you get like $1 billion in profit. So you spend a bunch of money for a very long time, and then on like launch weekend, you get a huge amount of money thrown at you all at once. And then a little bit of money trickles in like the next few years. But that means while you're developing the server, the game, you make no income. There's nothing. You are relying entirely on funding from the company. It was entirely Hypixel Skyblock money, basically. It was entirely funded by like Hypixel. They were like covering cost development, and then it pivoted to where Riot Games was funding the cost. But yeah, dude, like Hytale made no money. It never made $1, you know. And so it was hemorrhaging money but not making any. Just amazing, exactly. It costed money, a lot of money, by the way. It costed a lot of money, and it didn't make any. It only makes money once you sell the game. It's only after development do you make your first $1. And so until it's finished, it's worthless. It's a negative money. A Hytale was losing money. That's great, Netzler. I don't even know what that means. Like your carrier, your phone number? What does that mean? Reactivate? What did you do? Change your SIM card? What could that possibly mean? Stupid Apple stuff. I have a Motorola Edge. I think it's a Motorola Edge 2022 Plus or something. I have no idea. It was a really great phone when I bought it. I like cherry picked it. I could have bought anything, like genuinely. Never heard of it? Yeah, it's one of those, like, phones that you'd have to watch, like, Marquez Brownlee to know about. That's actually pretty much how I, like, discovered it, basically. Watching Marquez Brownlee's, like, recommendations on what the best phones are. Yeah, the more, like, mainstream ones. Yeah, most people know about, like, Apple and Samsung, but there's other phones that are really good. Like Huawei, OnePlus, and Motorola. You'd be surprised. It's funny how people are like, it's Apple versus Android. It's like, it's Apple versus Android, but there's a lot more Androids than Samsung. Like, there are a lot of really good Xiaomi. Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of, like, premium phone developers, makers, manufacturers. And I do think that, like, OnePlus is one of the best. Like, genuinely. It's like if I had an unlimited budget and money didn't exist, and I could just have any phone I wanted, I think nowadays I'd probably get a Samsung because their like S22 Ultras are really good. But a few years ago when I got my phone, I think this was like the best in terms of what I wanted. Because I was mostly looking for storage space. The main thing I wanted was storage. And this phone had the most storage out of any phone. So, like, I just bought the phone with the most storage. So, like, that's why I have it. Motorola phone had the most storage at the time. Yeah, I think, like, someone like Marquez Brownlee would describe it like this. An Apple phone is like a really good all-rounder. It's like good screen, good camera, good battery, good storage. But other phones individually have something better. Like, there's an Android with a better camera. There's an Android with a better screen. There's an Android with a better battery life. There's an Android, you know, that's faster, right? There's always, like, a feature that's, like, best. But it's never everything. Like, there is no, like, dream phone, I would say. The closest I would say nowadays would probably be, yeah, a Samsung S22 Ultra. I think that does have, like, everything, or as close as you can get to, like, really good camera, really good battery, really good everything. It's like the closest thing we have to, like, good at everything. Like an all-or-one. Like an everything in one phone. Like, my phone's fine. I'm not in a rush to replace it. But, like, if I did replace... Like, if I didn't have to worry about money, if I could just get any phone I wanted, yeah, I'd get a Samsung. Yeah, iPhone has some features that people like. Like, easy to use. That's, like, one of the bigger ones I hear. Apple is, like, intuitive ecosystem. It's very clean and pretty. The phone looks pretty. The wallpaper looks pretty. Just the apps, just, like, the shape, the size, whatever. Just it all looks pretty. So it's easy to use, intuitive, understandable. Everything just works. It's got an ecosystem. Things do what you expect them to do. I think Apple is definitely good at that. Like, they're trying to make it not a computer. They want it to just be magic. You press a button and it works, you know? Apple wants their phones to just be magic. So I think they're doing very good on that front. What Apple does well, like, what is an Apple phone? An Apple phone is a phone that's trying to not be a phone. It's trying to be like a piece of glass VR, you know? It's trying to be futuristic. But yeah, I actually used to have a flagship. Way back in middle school, I had the iPhone 6S Plus, which was like the most expensive and fastest one. It had like the most storage. I bought like the gigabyte, whatever the fuck, 256, whatever it was. But yeah, Back in middle school, I had the most expensive fucking iPhone. Exactly, dude. You know, it's funny, because I bought it because someone else had it. It was literally a case of jealousy. I saw someone had, like, the latest iPhone, and I had, like, some shitty Windows phone. And so I was like, Mom, can I get a new phone? And she's like, sure, honey. You know, go pick something out. And so I do some research. I go on fucking Marquez Brownlee, and I'm like, what's the best phone? And he's like, the iPhone 6s Plus, hands down, best phone of like 2015 or whatever. And so I bought it. I was just like, Mom, I want an iPhone 6s Plus, 256 gigabyte. And she's like, okay, honey, we'll go down to the store and get it. And then I got it, and that's how I had an iPhone for like 4 years. So I'm not anti-iPhone. I had an iPhone. I had a flagship iPhone at one point, so I may not have an iPhone now, but at the time I actually did have a flagship. I did have a super fast iPhone at one point. My famous iPhone? Yeah, I bet. Yeah, like, I don't hate them. I think iPhone is really good at what it does. Like, it's a genuinely good phone. When someone's like, I have an iPhone, I'm like, oh, you should switch. It's like, no, you can keep it. I think you should upgrade your iPhone with another iPhone. Like, if you have it, keep it, you know. If you like it, stay. But for me, I would like to get a Samsung, like, if I could. I'm pretty broke, so money is definitely a limiter. But if I had infinite money, I'd get Samsung. Apple everything. Again, I think has pros and cons. You know, obviously the classic, it just works, right? Just, like, you know the AirPod thing? You just open an AirPod and it just connects. It's like that simple. So I think there's definitely value in, like, Apple everything. My problem is that, like, I do not like Macs, dude. I will always be a Mac hater. Like, Macs technically aren't even personal computers. Like, in terms of, like, a personal computer, it's only a PC if it's, like, Windows or Linux, and it's a desktop. If it's a laptop or if it's a Mac, it ain't a PC. It's something else. It's like, I don't know what it is, but it's not a PC, so I don't like Mac. Because if your goal is to not be a computer, then it's not going to be a computer, right? Because what I was saying earlier is, like, iPhones are trying to not be computers. They're trying to be as thin as possible. They're trying to make the screen as big as possible. They're trying to get rid of buttons. They're trying to get rid of ports. They don't want it to be technical. They want it to just be like, you know, like point and click, right? They just want it to, like, work. The problem with computers is that they are technical. Like, they are complicated. And so I feel like you can't get rid of that. It's like, for example, look at Windows 8. Like, remember Windows 8 when they tried to simplify a computer? You can't simplify a computer. Computers are necessarily complex. And I think, like, dumbing down a computer just makes it worse. You can't slim down a computer. You can't make a computer, like, more eloquent. A part of a computer is that it's, like, big and clunky, that it is complex. You can't boil a computer down to one button. You can't get rid of the ports on a computer. You can't make a computer infinitely thin. I think that you can't do Apple magic on a computer. And I feel like that's why, like, fundamentally, like, Macs are bad. Like, the concept just doesn't translate. They're good at phones, but a good phone would not make a good computer. The traits that make a phone a good phone are like the opposite of what makes a computer a good computer. Bro, gaming is like what you do though. You can't like you can't even say that, dude. Oh, like it's pretty good at everything, just not gaming. It's like, bro, what do you think I do? I game. That's everything. It's like saying, yeah, it's a really good car, it just doesn't drive anywhere. I mean, the seat's amazing, the console's amazing, the air conditioning's great. It's a really good car, one of the best cars I've ever seen. It just doesn't turn on. It doesn't drive anywhere. It's like, the fuck you mean it doesn't drive? Then I don't want it. The only reason I bought it was to drive. Like, why did I buy a computer? So I can play video games. If it's good at everything but video games, then it's not good at jack fucking shit. Gaming is the one thing I use my computer for, bro. I barely even watch videos on my computer. Like 50% of my YouTube videos I watch on my phone. Okay, have fun with that. Bum 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 bum. Oh, I actually did that. Wow. Normally I usually don't even make that, but I did. Who the fuck is Duncan? Alright, I'm gonna end stream, y'all. Thanks for watching. It is